And we are live, guys. Thank you for being patient and welcome to my live review for last night's edition of Monday Night Raw, the March 12th, 2018 edition of Raw. We have a lot of stuff to talk about as we are officially, as of today, 26 days until WrestleMania 34. It is fast approaching. The build continues, and I have to say I really enjoyed last night's edition of Raw. There was a number of talking points coming out of the show, a number of storylines that are building towards the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania 34, April 8th. Cannot get here soon enough, so I thought last night's Raw was successful in getting me even more excited for the show of shows. So without further ado, let's dive in. If you guys are watching live, thank you. Be sure to participate in the live chat. It will be open throughout this entire review. And without further ado, let's get started. So we kick off Monday Night Raw with Kurt Angle. He comes down to the ring. He's about to talk up, what happened with Ronda Rousey, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. And then he also announces that last night Brock Lesnar was not going to be on Monday Night Raw, despite previously being advertised. This is, of course, all in the build-up to Lesnar Reigns at WrestleMania. I personally love the idea of not having Lesnar show up, maybe not even once. I mean, I have a feeling he'll show up on the go-home show, but that remains to be seen. But to me, this is smart build. We know that Lesnar's going to be leaving after WrestleMania, and the fact that people kind of have been resenting him for his championship run. I myself, he's barely around to defend the belt. He shows up, on a limited schedule. I was over this reign. Frankly, I would have wished he dropped the title at No Mercy, to be honest, to Braun Strowman. But that didn't happen. He kept the title. Brock can still go if he wants to, but that's if he wants to give a shit. So I think it's smart to turn this into an angle. I'm surprised they haven't done this Brock Lesnar I don't give a shit gimmick. That's what I'm calling it. A lot longer ago. But hey, better late than never. I think it makes this build easily 10 times better than the build heading into WrestleMania 31, which was, to me, I was not a fan of that build at all. Yeah, we got some great Paul Heyman promos during that build, but other than that, there's really not a lot I can remember. And yes, of course, Tug of War. If they do face off in the ring, I do not want to see Tug of War 2.0. Please, WWE, don't make this happen. But Roman comes out. He's pissed. He's upset. And I keep saying it. A pissed off Roman Reigns is the Roman Reigns that I can get behind. And I'll keep saying that, in my opinion. He said, what are the repercussions for Lesnar not showing up? And he says, there aren't going to be any repercussions because it's Brock Lesnar. He can do whatever the hell he wants to. He calls him Vince's boy, which is kind of ironic since we all know that Roman's Vince's boy, but whatever. That is what it is. So Roman, I don't think I've ever seen anybody literally go back into gorilla position, confront Vince, who's on headset. For some reason, Shane was there. I don't know why. The commissioner SmackDown Live was on Raw, but maybe it was to get away from Road Dogg, hashtag fire Road Dogg, and he got up in Vince's face, and Vince was like, all right, we're going to go backstage. We're going to go backstage into my office, and I'm going to have a conversation with the big dog. So good old Vince, once again on Raw. It was great to see Vince make an appearance. And they go to commercial. We come back, and Renee Young interviews Vince. Reigns storms off. He's pissed off. Vince has temporarily suspended Roman Reigns. I like this. This is interesting. To me, the stuff with Lesnar, the part-timer stuff, the UFC, it's a way to add a sense of realism into a storyline that I wish they would do more often. Blur the lines of reality. To me, that's when wrestling is at its best. Did that really just happen? Is he really going there? I don't know if that was real or is that part of the show or what. But Vince, says that he respects Reigns, but he had to remind Reigns that, as Rock used to say, know your role and shut your mouth. Vince says that Lesnar doesn't respect anyone but competition. Vince says that Lesnar will be there next week, and he then announces Roman Reigns has been suspended. I, for one, do not see Brock Lesnar showing up, but hey, it's the road to WrestleMania. Anything can happen. I thought that was a very good way to kick off Raw. We then move on to Sonya Deville with Paige and Mandy Rose in her corner, taking on Sasha Banks with Bayley in her corner. Sasha Banks was able to put Deville in the bank statement for the easy submission victory. Afterwards, though, Absolution beat down on Sasha Banks, and Bayley just walked out. Obviously, they've been building up tension, animosity. No one has turned yet on each other. Still don't believe that. They said at Elimination Chamber, Sasha Banks turned on Bayley. That wasn't a heel turn. I know heel turns, and that was not a heel turn. It's going to happen. Whether it's Bayley or Sasha Banks, I don't know if it's after WrestleMania. It could be like a Mysterio Guerrero thing heading into WrestleMania 21. That was really just about respect. Two best friends going out there, proving it on the grand stage of them all, the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. So I look forward to the match between Bayley, Sasha Banks. I never get tired of seeing those two tear it down. But Bayley walking out here was interesting, intriguing. Still anticipating to see who turns on who. Like I said, we still got 3 weeks, so it could still happen, but I have my doubts if that will happen before WrestleMania 34. After this, we have Miz TV. Basically, Miz interviewing his two WrestleMania opponents, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, in a triple threat match for the IC Championship that I predict could potentially steal WrestleMania. That's how damn good that match is on paper. Cannot wait for that. So basically, this segment was Miz trying to kiss Seth Rollins' ass, trying to get him to turn on Finn Balor, and likewise, Miz trying to get on Finn Balor's good side to turn him against Seth Rollins. So basically, this led to Rollins and Balor being like, well, Miz, we're not stupid. We know what you're trying to do. You're trying to drive a wedge in us, so that way it makes us easy pickings for the triple threat match at WrestleMania. And they slowly turn and look at the Miz. Rollins tosses Miz over the top rope, and Balor turns around and Rollins decks him. And this sets up for later on in the night. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor always look, like another match. I always love seeing these two go at it in the ring, whether it's at SummerSlam. Is to have really good chemistry, and we'll talk about the match later on. But no case segment here. But I'm still looking forward to this IC triple threat match. I really hope they don't add anybody else to this match. Just let it be a triple threat. Don't shoehorn in. It is what it is. We don't need to make this a 4-way, a 5-way, a 6-way. The only person that I would want to see added to that match is if he returns is Samoa Joe. If he can get back. And I heard rumors that he is getting close to being cleared. So hopefully we see the Samoan Destroyer back soon on Monday nights. But an okay segment here. Now, we had what was scheduled to be the Bar versus the Miztourage. As you know, the Bar said they've run down all of their competition on Monday Night Raw. They have nobody left. So, since they called out the entire Raw Tag Team division, it did make sense for the entire Raw Tag Team division to come out. And this match ended in no contest, and they beat the shit out of Sheamus and Cesaro. Titus Worldwide, Anderson and Gallows. The Revival hit the ring. Heath Slater and Rhino. Everybody hit the ring to take down the Bar because they decided to open up their mouths and, say that we have no competition left. So, later on in the show, Kurt Angle announced a Battle Royale, which, by the way, I called. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. I'm like, okay, this segment has to have purpose. It has to have meaning. And Ultra Shadow, what's going on? Thank you for watching live and for being patient. We're talking about the Tag Team Battle Royale. I called that, by the way. I was like, there's only one thing logical that could come out of this. You do a Tag Team Battle Royale to determine the number one contenders to face the Bar at WrestleMania. Don't be lazy and do a gauntlet match or, multi-man. No. You need number one contenders. That's how you do it. And I'll talk about what happened later on, but this is what set up for last night's main event. John Cena. So we all know his last opportunity to make it to WrestleMania, which nobody believes. But, okay, John, we'll go there, was to win the WWE Championship at Fastlane. He didn't do that. He failed. So Cena comes out on Raw and says, I will be going to WrestleMania, but I will not be competing. I will be going as a fan. And he literally hopped over the barricade, and I thought this was awesome. And he took a sip of somebody's beer. I was like, oh, God, Cena's going to be drunk for the rest of this promo. And then Cena said it, and he said, well, before that, we got an Undertaker chant, and I knew where this is going. And he did, well, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. And he says, screw it. I don't care. I'm going to challenge The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania 34. That's right. You heard it, folks. John Cena calling out the dead man, who we all thought was retired. He's calling him out to a match at WrestleMania. And I still don't want to see this match, but I can't lie. I'm not going to lie. This promo kind of made me want to see the match. It's like, damn it, damn it, damn it. That was one of Cena's better promos in a while. Man, I mean, he was on point here, and it just gave me goosebumps. I was like, holy shit. He says, he said the match was impossible. Cena was told the match was impossible. And he challenges The Undertaker, and Cena says he's the only person that's stopping this from happening is The Undertaker himself. He says, The Undertaker, you need to get over your own ego. He says, Taker needs to stop hiding behind his own insecurities. Taker was old and broken down. He wouldn't be posting workout videos on his wife's Instagram. Oh, yeah. Cena went there. I was like, holy shit, man. Cena's spitting fire tonight. And if it takes feeding Taker's ego to get this done, Cena will do it. Cena is either going to WrestleMania as a fan or as Taker's opponent, which would be history. If Cena was Taker, he would want one more match. Holy shit. The challenge has been laid. Will The Undertaker accept? Will he show up next week on Raw? I am intrigued, and I don't know. I'm torn. I'm like, that really made me want to see the match, but I kind of still don't want to see the match, but we're going to see the match, so I just hope that Taker can give us a memorable performance, something much, much, much better than WrestleMania 33, because that was bad. If he can go out there and somehow pull rabbit out of its hat, and that's his swan song, and this is truly it, end it on a high note, I'm all for it. I even said that way back when, but I just don't want to remember him as an old, broken down man. So I hope, for Taker's sake, that he is ready for WrestleMania, but this was a damn good promo. It really was. Speaking of good match here between, well, before that, we got Elias Sampson, or just Elias. I don't know what he is anymore. I still call him Elias Sampson. He was in the ring with his guitar. He had a neck brace on, and he said, "This is all your fault, for what happened to him last week in the Symphony of Destruction match," which was pretty fun to watch. And he leaves. So I guess last night nobody was able to walk with Elias. Strowman's backstage. He said, talking about the Symphony of Destruction, and how he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, but how he is going to make his own path to WrestleMania. So I was really interested in seeing who Strowman would face at WrestleMania. And while it's not where I would ideally like to see him, we'll talk about it later on in the review. But I'm pretty happy with how the show ended. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, like I said, these two, they had a good match here. It wasn't their best match, but it was a good, solid, well-worked match with a surprising finish, I have to say. When it looked like Rollins, he hit the superplex on Finn Balor and was going to reverse it. Balor reversed into a small package for a win, so that was really surprising. Rollins typically goes for the Falcon Arrow there. Finn Balor able to pick up a nice win there, building momentum into that triple threat, heading into that triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. So like I said, it's a match that I am eagerly anticipating on what is really a stacked WrestleMania card from top to bottom. This WrestleMania has potential to kick some major ass. And by the way, thank you for reminding me, Ultra Shadow. The graphics during the Strowman promo. Yes, the terrible graphics from Dawn of Kevin. You need to be deleted, delete, delete, delete. Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, they're terrible. They really are. Just please, for the love of God, stop. Please, I'm begging you. Please. We move on to Asuka, who was going to be interviewed by Charlie Caruso, talking about why she chose to face Charlotte. But before Asuka could utter a word, Alexa Bliss comes down and, says, well, you made the right choice. You chose the easier champion to beat. She said that Asuka knows that she couldn't beat Bliss at Mania. And she said that, pretty much Asuka said that she beat Bliss before, which was nice that they brought that up. She did beat Alexa Bliss before, and she says she can do it again right now, but Bliss says that's not going to happen, and Bliss says instead, Asuka, you're going to face this woman, pointing to the stage, and then eventually it's Mickie James. And Asuka is tacked 2-on-1 by Bliss and Mickie James. And I thought, despite the crowd or door. That's actually a good point. Thank you. These graphics, I mean, they're more noticeable, I guess, on SmackDown. For those of you in the live chat, is it worse on Raw or SmackDown? Because I don't watch SmackDown anymore, although I will be tuning in tonight. Hopefully it delivers. Road Dogg, you better give me a good show. Oh, you didn't know? Which show is it worse on? To me, it seems like it's worse on SmackDown compared to Raw. But yeah, these graphics overall, they're dumb. They're stupid. They gotta go. They just gots to go. But I thought, despite the crowd crapping on, I thought this was a good match. I don't know why they weren't interested in this, but Asuka, Mickie James. Asuka was able to lock in the Asuka lock after Mickie James missed the Mick kick for the win. So once again, Asuka is undefeated. And we'll see what she does tonight. Yeah, I heard it's, speaking of tonight, on SmackDown. And if I can survive an episode of SmackDown, I'll see how bad it is with the New Day's entrance, with the emoji crap. I like emojis, but not on my TV, please. So we have Alexa Bliss backstage talking to Nia Jax, asking Nia, why didn't you come out to help me, beat down Asuka? It was perfectly set up. You come down, we kick Asuka's ass. It's all good. Jax says Angle told her not to come out because Nia Jax was going to be in a match against the Jobber. And blah, blah, blah. Bliss kisses Nia Jax's ass. She says, that, we love each other. We're best friends, and I would do anything for you. So Nia Jax goes out to the ring and wins her match easily against this Jobber, hits a Samoan drop on the Jobber for the win. Afterwards, for some reason, there's a boom mic being, in backstage where Alexa Bliss and Mickie James are. And she was supposed to be interviewed by Charlie Caruso, I believe. Yeah. She's late to the interview, so they have her on the Titantron. And Alexa Bliss and Mickie James pretty much body shame Nia Jax. They run her down, and all the while Nia's hearing this, and then Charlie shows up, and she points out, Alexa, you do know that boom mic was right there the entire time, picking up everything that you said. Nia has this distraught look on this face, and Alexa realizes what the hell she's done. So her and Mickie get out of Dodge's way, and then Nia storms in there. She's just throwing shit. She is pissed off. And she wants to come after Alexa Bliss. So I hope that, they keep it Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. I'm hearing reports that it may be a multi-man match, multi-woman match, I should say. But you don't really need to add anybody else in there. I think it should be Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. I feel like Nia, she's improved more and more every time I see her. And I like the direction that they're going in for this story. Alexa as the conniving, cunning, cutthroat bitch. And eventually, once Nia Jax gets her hands on her, she's going to beat the hell out of her. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of moving on here, we have the announcement that next week, the Ultimate Deletion, yes, will be happening next week. And it will be deleteful, yes. Delete Bray Wyatt. Delete him forever. Get him off my television so I don't have to hear any more garbage promos from this man, yes. Can't wait. Next week, Ultimate Deletion. It will be delightful. We also got Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. Potentially, and thank you for the hashtags, Fire Road Dogg. Potentially Brock Lesnar if he shows up. Maybe The Undertaker. It's looking like a loaded show next week, guys. And then we go on from here. We have our main event, I believe. Yes. The Tag Team Battle Royale to determine who will face the Bar at WrestleMania. And the winner, like I said, gets that title shot. So before the match even begins, Braun Strowman's music hits. And I'm like, Braun Strowman's coming down to the ring. He's going to win this thing by himself, isn't he? And I'm like, okay. That's what I want to see. Because honestly, outside of the Revival, there was really nobody else I'd want to see face the Bar. And sure enough, Braun Strowman defeats all of the teams and will face the Bar. Either, see, I like, okay, ideally, Strowman should be in the Universal Championship scene. But I'd rather see, if he needs a role on this show. And if he's not going to face a Cena, or Lesnar, or any of the other top stars, and he needs to have a nice role on this show, don't just stick him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Don't want to see that. No, he is, at least give him a championship match. And him taking on the Bar, if it's a handicap match, or if he gets a partner. And I'll talk about that in a minute. I kind of wanted to gloss over that, but we'll talk about that. But Strowman going after the tag titles, if he gets Samoa Joe as his partner, Strowman, Samoa Joe taking on the Bar, that would be a kick-ass match. Really kick-ass match. So I'm cool with Strowman going after the tag team titles. Like I said, ideally I would like to see him in the Universal Championship picture, but it is what it is. Could be Elias, but I want to see Samoa Joe. If I had to pick Elias, or if Joe's ready, give me Samoa Joe. But also on the show, we had Kid Rock being announced for the Celebrity Wing. Yay. Honestly, I was never that big of a Kid Rock fan. It's the Celebrity Wing. It is what it is. I like a couple of his songs here that I have on my phone. Born Free was good. All Summer Long. It's like 3 of his songs I would never go see Kid Rock. To me, he's just overrated. And then we had the announcement of the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royale. Yeah, Jim Johnston, let me put it this way. Before Kid Rock, Jim Johnston, the man that has created so many of these iconic theme songs that we listen to, deserves to go in. If there's anybody that deserves it, he should go in the Hall of Fame. But let's talk about the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royale, a.k.a. the participant battle royale for the women. Naming it after the Fabulous Moolah, knowing what she has allegedly done with pimping out, women, and the allegations of just her not being a very nice person. You can look that stuff up on your own. Honestly, the WWE, I feel, they should have known what happens when you name it after somebody who has a lot of baggage. Frankly, I would have named it after somebody else. Yeah. Probably not a good idea. I knew as soon as they announced that was not going to be a good idea. You couldn't have named it Wendy Richter or, I don't know, Lunder Blaze or, I don't know, somebody else. I'm sure, I don't know. It's just like WWE, especially now with what's been going on in our society, not really the best time to do something like that. So, well, they shoot themselves in the foot. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah, Muhammad Ali. Hell, if you want to do a musical induction, induct the late, great Lemmy. I'm talking about Motorhead. He's done more to me. I mean, Kid Rock did play Undertaker's American Badass theme, which kind of makes me think that maybe we'll see the American Badass at WrestleMania. That would be awesome. But Lemmy, I thought for sure Lemmy would go in. Maybe next year. But yeah, sensational. Sherry, Miss Elizabeth. Yeah, China, even though she did porn, but who cares? Whatever. It's a lot less worse than what Fabulous Moolah allegedly did. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to, fan the flames even more. Not a fan of the name, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? So yeah, that does it, guys. Oh, and by the way, I would give Raw a B tonight, or last night. I thought it was a solid show. Hopefully we continue to get episodes like this on the road to WrestleMania. And speaking of, I will, knock on wood, I'm going to be watching SmackDown Live tonight. Holy shit. It's been 2 months since I've watched an episode of SmackDown Live. 2 freaking months. They actually have me intrigued. Shane's announcement. Please lead to something of note. Asuka confronting Charlotte. Nakamura. AJ Styles. Will this show deliver? If it does, I will give you a review. If it doesn't, I won't give you a review. And I will watch 205 Live because that has been good with the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. I've really enjoyed the stuff they've done with the Cruiserweights. But yeah, we'll see how long it lasts, guys. If it's like 5 minutes in and I can tell this show's going downhill, I'm tuning out. Frankly, I got other shit I can watch. That's the thing. There's a Penguin game on. As you can tell, I'm going to pick the Penguins 9 times out of 10. So there's no Penguin game tonight. SmackDown Live, you better deliver. Let's go. Raw did good this week. Can you deliver? We'll see. So that does it, guys, for this live Raw review. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Might start doing these reviews, around this time. To me, it's just easier instead of going live immediately after Raw, just due to the fact that I have to get up for work at 5 a.m., so really helps give me an extra hour of sleep. Thank you, hashtag GoPens. They're currently first place. And of course, remember, they are your reigning, defending, undisputed, 5-time Stanley Cup champions of the world. Never get tired of saying that. So yeah, that does it for this live review, guys. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to click my like and subscribe button here on youtube.com/DanielGuys412 for all my latest thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGuys412. And until then, guys, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will be back up here in my next video whenever that may be. So until then, take care and enjoy SmackDown Live tonight, guys.